Today we'll be talking about why the foster care system needs to be reformed. Imagine living and moving into a complete stranger's house and being forced to live with them until the state allows you to go home. Well, the NCLS states that is the reality of 46% of kids in the foster care system who are placed in a house with a non-relative. The foster care system strives on the reunification of families and the well-being of a child and the welfare of a child. But the reality is that this system is in need of some serious reforms. Yes, the foster care system does provide a temporary home for a child who may be abused or neglected in their house, but the cause of children's welfare is so great that we cannot accept this flawed system. We will be taking a look at the financial aspect of the foster care system, as well as the impact it has socially on its kids, and lastly, the legalities of the foster care system. We need to advocate for those kids who are used as a means to obtain a stipend and those who have been abused or neglected in their foster homes and those who for too long have been aging out of the system. As we look at the financial aspects, we need to take a look on why it needs stricter reforms on how foster parents are recruited and how they should provide a more detailed list of the expenses. Unfortunately, most incentives to recruit foster parents are financially based. As stated by Pathway Family Services, a state generally reimburse a foster parent $20 to $25 a day and an average of $1 per hour that child is in your care. Here in Iowa, a foster parent is reimbursed based on the daily rate of the child's age group and the additional pay for the level of care, and the levels range from 1 to 3. The Iowa Foster and Parents Association provided this chart for us. The average age of a child entering the foster care is 6.5. Now here in Iowa, that brings their daily rate to $17.45. And now depending on the level of care they need, that rate would go up to $22.26 at a level 1, $27.07 at a level 2, and $31.98 at a level 3. Now, some may say that it's obvious that foster parents would be reimbursed because they are taking care of a kid that is not theirs. But those people also fail to realize that 51% of foster kids who are in out-of-home placements experience food insecurities, and that leaves others wondering where that money goes if it is not used solely for that child. Here in 2020, our own county made up the top 3 counties in Iowa for the number of foster kids in their system. Polk County had 1,328, Woodbury had 491, and Pottawatomie had 394. Now, we will look at the social aspects of the foster care system. The NCLS stated that 80% of kids in foster care experience some sort of mental health disorder. That is comparative to the 20% of the general population. Some of the more substantial mental health disorders are PTSD, depression, anxiety, social phobia, dependence on alcohol and drugs, and bulimia. Foster kids are also 4 times more likely to attempt suicide. The foster care system is failing at its own purpose, as it's also not a safe place for their children. The youth law states that 32.8% of kids in the foster care system have reported maltreatment. Of those 32.8, 10.1% of them have experienced physical neglect, 9.4 have experienced physical neglect and physical abuse. 5.6 of them have experienced sexual abuse, and 4% experienced just sexual abuse. A study conducted by Johns Hopkins concluded that foster kids are 4 times more likely to be sexually assaulted, and children in group homes are 28 times more likely to be abused. We need to create a better system for those children who are being abused to come out and report what is happening to them and for them to feel safe in a house that is not theirs. Now we will take a look at the legalities of the foster care system. At the foster care system and how children are aging out. The only reason children are aging out is because they're turning the legal age of 18. Together We Rise stated that in 2019, 20,000 kids have aged out of the foster care system. Do you see this picture? Take that by 125 to get the full picture. Now, some of you may be wondering what's going to happen when all these kids leave the foster care system. Well, I'll tell you, 52% of them will graduate high school. Only 3% of them will go and graduate college. Now, you may be wondering why the statistics are so low, and it is because they don't have support, and once they leave, they have nowhere to go, which is why 20% of them will become instantly homeless and 60% of them will end up in the sex industry. If the foster care had more resources for those children, then the statistics for them graduating and having employment would be higher. So next time you think about the foster care system, think of all the children it has failed. Today we took a look at the financial incentives used to recruit foster parents, as well as the social impact and the mental health disorders that foster children have. And then we took a look at the legalities and the rate at which foster kids are aging out. Thank you so much. And next time we need to advocate for those 394 kids in our county. That's it.